it's faith and, it's have the faith and take some action, right? So the reason we're talking about this is really to help. This is really for mothers like us, She winds up in the hospital. And so I had my hysterectomy on the same day that my mother was in the hospital. And she's at in the hospital in Brooklyn. I'm in the hospital in New Jersey, and we're on the phone.
Hmm.
And it was like the last real conversation that my mother and I were able to have. And I was, getting ready to go through a divorce. My sister, who was slated to help me after the hysterectomy, she's running
Hmm.
to Brooklyn and running between these. It was a crazy time. So we have to talk. I
Yeah.
think that and I don't know if it's shame. I don't know if it's things that are considered private, and I'm air quoting for
Hmm.
those who are listening to the audio. But we have to talk. We have to talk more. And I think that this is about health,
Yeah.
but it's also about all the things
Yeah.
that we are choosing not to talk about. And I
Hmm.
know that in my life, as a mother and as a grandmother, I'm allowing that to stay with my parents. My father,
Hmm.
coincidentally, was way more vocal about his experience with
Hmm.
cancer, very much so. But I think one of the things, there's a few things in your story that I wanted to make sure that we spoke about, but that's the one. It's like we have to talk. We have to stop this suffering in silence and not sharing, because our daughters
Hmm.
need to hear from us.
Yeah. I call myself the emancipation coach because I think we've got to be emancipated from the strong Black woman or the strong woman who keeps it all in and,
Yes, as a sign of
silently.
strength.
Yeah. And really what it is it's silent trauma.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that, yes, we don't, you do need to pick your tribe and who you share with, so you have the right energy around you. But if nothing else, it is a valuable teaching opportunity for you to give your daughters, especially. That's why I kept my daughter as part of my journey, not in some ways to weigh her down, but to make sure you love your parents. So you want to know and you're going to support them, and not knowing doesn't protect them. So let's just get that out there. Um, but so that she knows how to make the right choices for herself as well. So that's why I had to be open about mine. And that was the first time I was open. I too had gone through other health issues and kept it quiet based on my upbringing of being strong and quiet and private and just leave it on the altar. And that's only God needs to know your business. And I too had prescribed to that until this journey because I saw that I needed to talk about it. I needed to show my daughter a different path. And thank you for sharing your story because it also helps me to see that I'm not the only daughter who's gone through that story. But we can't change our parents' upbringing. And again, I don't want to make them wrong. It was the right thing for them. It was the right thing for
Yeah,
them. So it's not about making them wrong because it is a personal journey, but it is about allowing us to think about how we do things differently and how we can use these moments to be purposeful and share and be a testimony to someone else.
yeah. And to understand that there are certain things that go from one generation to the next, and we have the ability
Stop it.
to stop it and to make mindful and conscious decisions about what we're going to bring forward
Yep.
and what we're going to leave behind. Like we are the doorway
Yes.
between those experiences of our ancestors, even when something is challenging. And I cannot imagine, what it feels like to hear those words. Um, but your ability to laugh through, even while making these challenging decisions, even while, grappling with this, I think was could only have helped,
Yeah. And I
because there's humor in everything, even even aspects of, you know.
I tell everyone I cried, so I don't want to act like I didn't cry. I did cry too. Um, but then I still make jokes. As I said, I only had breast cancer in one breast. I decided to remove both. And then unfortunately I got an infection in the other one, and I jokingly said that my left breast was taking revenge for getting cut off for no
For
reason.
being part of this thing.
Like dragging me into
Like,
this,
why'd you
like,
drag me into
yeah,
this? Now
I
here you
was
go.
fine. So now deal with this. And so I'm actually still going through surgeries. I've gone from never having surgery to needing all these surgeries to fix it. And they're around the second breast. And so, which also led me to sometimes, um, we have one issue and new issues can pop up and arise because of it. And having to be okay and to be comfortable with that too, right? Um, because then, of course, I started going, well, should I have done both breasts? Maybe I should have only done one. But you've got to be comfortable with the decisions you've made with the best information. And I knew I had done my research. I